Hi, gang. We made it. Finally. Finally. I am, for those of you that may have been with me on this last one that we couldn't get going last week, I was pulling what little hair out I had left, and obviously I was successful, I think. But man, this is not for the faint of heart. Technically, it's funny. YouTube has all this figured out, like to hold up a phone or something, or do a really quick thing that way. But it is brutal to do something that's inside here. Hang on, I got to turn another thing off here. I'm getting some feedback. There we go. There we go. I think we're good. Yeah. Anyway, so I think we've got it nailed down. They make it tough for really trying to get good multicam shots in there, and it's not like we've never done something like this before. So, needless to say, I'm thrilled. I think we got a live one. I'm going to sit here and talk just a second or two to let a few people stream in here that may be coming just a second or two late. But hope you guys all had a great Thanksgiving yesterday, at least for those of you in the States. For those of you that are not, everyone in the United States, not that we needed it or not, but have all gained a pound or two over the last 24 hours. So we have been Santa's little elves all day today. We had a big day, a lot of orders. By the way, for anybody that didn't see it, I should mention quickly there was a we did it. We've still got it going on till tonight, the end of the day today. A Black Friday special, which is a giant one. It's not on the Piano and a Flash side. It's on the ScottHouston.com side, and it's a coupon code that's worth 50% off. It's Black Friday 2016. So probably should have made a slate to put up here, but it's just Black Friday 2016. If you 2016. So if you haven't seen that and you're interested in something on books or DVDs or something on that side, take advantage of it before the end of the day. For everyone, we've gotten a lot of questions on that too. There's a ton of people waiting to see if anything's going to come out on the Piano and a Flash side, on the side with the online lessons. And all I can say is a little birdie has told me it's highly, highly likely in the next couple days we're going to you'll be seeing some holiday specials on that as well. So that's that going on. Now, here's the plan for what we're going to do now. I'm going to, over the next 4, maybe 5 weeks, depending on how far we get, I'm going to go through a little piece of a lesson to teach you a really it's still going to be simple, but kind of a hip version of Jingle Bells. And this is what it's going to sound like. It will sound like this. It's going to be like, and don't necessarily follow my hand yet, because I will probably will change some things between now and then, but it's going to be something like this. Right? Something like that. So it ought to be kind of fun to, there we go. It ought to be fun. And it's not going to be really brutal, I promise. A lot of it's going to be you just deciding you're not going to have to read this, right? For all you serious piano players, like no reading. I'm just going to teach it to you by ear, if you will. So let's go ahead and dig right in. I am going to take questions. If anybody's got some questions, go ahead and put them in the chat thing there. I've got Teresa's in here helping me moderate. So if you've got any questions at all, stick them in the chat box, and we'll try to get to them. And I will stick around for a long time after this little lesson. That's going to probably take 7, 8 minutes. I'll stick around if you've got any questions. All right. So let's dig right in. Let me move it back to that shot. Okay, so we're going to do 2 things in the first week, and then I hope this isn't too big of a bite all at once, but before next week, the first week we're going to work on the very simple melody, and then I'm going to give you some very simple chords. But after that, we'll start embellishing all of it. So the melody is, if you don't know the melody yet, you should, right? It's just Jingle Bells. We're going to play it in the key of C, so the first note is E, all right? Because the first chord is a C chord. But here's the melody. So it's jingle bells, jingle, E, G, C, D, E, right? Or 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, right? Re, do, what is it? Do, no, do, re, mi, fa, mi, so, do, re, mi. I've never done solfege effectively, so no making fun of me. There we go. So, okay. Then the next section is, right? And I very much would like for you to learn this by ear, right? Let your, and it's a great easy one to practice this in, where you're playing this mental game of saying Okay, these are all the same note. Yeah, still on the same note. Uh-oh, this next one coming has got to be higher. So then you think, well, how much higher? Is it that one? No, it doesn't sound right. Is it this one? No, not that one. Ah, touchdown. I mean, your ears will just tell you. And now you're thinking, ooh, I've got to go down low. You got to go. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. Right? I mean, it's this really kind of dumb hunt and peck thing, and I'm just doing that to make this point that you know, and obviously I'm exaggerating with that, but that's a lot of what playing by ear is all about, right? It's this very good educated guessing that you need to go through, and the more you do it, the quicker you get to the point where I can think, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle. I just know that's a minor third, so I know to go from E to G, and then when I hear jingle all, but in my ears, I've just done this a doggone many times. I hear it go G C 5-1, right? I just hear that. So, but how it all started was just what I did. Is a da da. No, that's not it. Da da. No, that's not it. And you're just kind of playing this dumb hunt and peck game. So don't feel badly. I'm hoping there's a bunch of just absolute beginners here, and even those of you who are not, maybe those of you that are dyed-in-the-wool note readers that can't play away from the page. This is the way you start to get to that point. So again, we're okay. So let me play up to where we are. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, right? Back to the jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. So that entire thing can be done in 5 fingers, right? Okay. I haven't decided whether we're going to go through the verse sections. We may. I don't know. It depends on how far we get in the next few weeks. But we're definitely going to get through this first part, right? So that's it. One last time. And you don't need to do it as fast as I am. I'm just. And by the way, this whole thing is getting recorded and will be available on YouTube, an hour or two after this live thing gets done. Oops. All right. So what you need to do there is get comfortable doing that. All right. Just play that through with your right hand a few times until you really are comfortable playing that and you're not making any wrong notes. Don't think there's any exact way to play the rhythmic values because we're going to be jazzing them up a little bit. But yeah, that's just it. All right. So get through the point where you can just maybe play and sing along with that, so you know that you're kind of testing yourself that you're playing the right notes. All right. Enough with that. That's little lesson number 1 for the week. Now we're going to move on to the more fun stuff, which is the chords in the left hand. So at the beginning, here's what we're going to do, the basic ones. And I'm just going to give you the chords so you can get comfortable with them under your hand. By the way, pardon me, I've got a boo-boo. I literally cut myself carving turkey yesterday. It sounds like a made-up story, but I really did. Here we go. So the first chord is a C major 7. So here's a C chord, right? To add the major 7, you just skip another note and add that one up there, all right? So it's that. Now, I say this every time, but there's always some newbies that are here that have never seen me before, and I pull this finger back so you can see it better on camera. I got such a habit doing that from the TV show that I just can't break it, but I don't really play like that, so don't think I run around with my finger stuck down there. You can play comfortably however you want. You can use whatever fingering you want for that matter. I would imagine most of you would finger it like this: pinky, middle, index, and thumb. All right, so we have that. So that's the first chord, and then you're going to pick everything up and move up one. Just move up every white note. That's a D minor 7. One more time to an E minor 7. Now we're going to take everything down a half a step to the closest black note below. That's an E flat minor 7. Okay. One more back down, slide back down to the D minor 7. Okay, and now we're going to take both the top notes and slide them down one while you leave these other two where they are. Okay, that one, so I have a D and an F and a G and a B being played. So again, I went from a D minor 7. I'm going to take these two, slide down. All right, just those two. That's actually a G7 is what that is, but it's inverted. All right, and not to get too deep in this, but a G7 would normally start on a G. Right? But I'm going to take those bottom two and I'm going to put them up 1 octave. Right? Same 2 notes down here. I'm just doing that so it's a smoother chord, like a voice leading is what they call that. But and then you take the bottom 2 and move them back down to get back to where you began, which is at the C minor 7. I mean C major 7, pardon me. Okay, so in order, here we are. Here goes the... All right. That's all I want to do for this first week. I want you to get comfortable doing that. All right, get to the point where you can do that in your sleep. Okay. So gang, that's it for the lesson number 1. This is very serious stuff, this piano playing, right? So that's it. I just want you to get that right hand part playing the melody, right? And then with your left hand, I want you to do those chords and get comfortable. Okay? That's it. That's it. That's all we have. So work on that. Next week, we're going to put some things together, and I'm going to give you a few more chords to go on. If you want to put your hands together, if you want to get ahead of the class a little bit, you can do this, but please don't fret about it, and we'll do it. I'll do it very straight to begin with. Instead of starting the melody there, let's start it up 1 octave up here. So you can do this. I know that sounds very dissonant. It is on purpose. Okay, that's all we're trying to get to. Except we're going to noodle around with it and make it sound a lot jazzier, but that's where they fall. Okay? So there you have it. That is the big stressful thing you need to work on this week. All right? That'd be it. Ta-da! That's all we have going on. So, do that, spend a little time on it, and in next week's little lesson, I will dig in further. And so, without further ado, does anyone have any questions? I think I'm getting, I don't think my thing's updating. Sorry, it's because of the way this is set up. I can't see the actual chat window. Someone has to moderate it. I don't think we have anything. Let me check. Let me ask. Let me make sure this is still updating. Excuse me. Any questions? Yes, no, yes. Okay. Well, in that case, no questions about Jingle Bells. Let's just start taking any other ones. How about whether or not we're going to get to Mars or not? How about advice on Christmas presents? How about, I don't know. Oh, I'm hearing something from out in the hallway. Maybe she'll type it here. She's coming up with something. How about just listening to me play for a minute, right? I'm going to hear a really nice Silent Night version. I see a question coming. Okay, question. Can you break down Carol and the Bells in G minor the way David Tolley plays it? Oh, I know who's asked this question. This nice fella. I see his name, May. Bill May, William May. And William, I'm sorry. I know you've asked for this. Sorry for the crunching there, guys. We just don't have that clip available. He's asked for that clip a million times. And I can't remember how he did it. You know what I need to do is go listen to it. I just don't remember. This was a clip from my TV show gang, is what this question is about. I have a guest named David Tolley, a really good piano player, has a hilarious story about being called out by Johnny Carson one time, and he sat down and played impromptu, but on the show live. Now that's pressure. But he played Carol and the Bells, obviously, and I just don't remember it. Out of 182 episodes of that TV show, I do not remember how he did it. But tell you what, William May, Bill May, however you say your name, I will try to find. Gosh, I just don't know where I can find it. I know we looked for it to post it, so I don't think so. So if we have anything else, any other questions out there, anybody? Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Well, that's it. That's it. I think I lost my audience last week when we mucked around for, you know, 25 minutes and couldn't get the thing going. Here we go. Can I provide the name of the chords from Jingle Bells? Absolutely, I can do that. Sure. Here's what they are. They're super simple. If you want to write these down like so you're making up your own lead sheet, here they are. They're coming up like this way. C major 7, D minor 7, right? So we have a C major 7. So you can type C MAJ 7 or C triangle 7. It's another shortcut for it. To D minor 7, that's D MIN 7 or D dash if you're using the simpler version, just D dash 7. To an E minor 7, so E MIN 7. Okay. That's an E flat minor 7. So E flat MIN 7. To a D7, D minor 7 again. Sorry, we already had that one. And then this part is the G7. And you don't need to write that it's inverted or anything. It's just a G7. And then back to the C major 7. If you want to continue on beyond what we did today, I can go ahead and give it to you in case I forget it next week or somebody doesn't ask. Then it goes to an F. That's where so it's F. You know, I'll probably play it in F major 7, actually. I'll probably substitute an F major 7 there. Down to a C major 7. And then to another D minor 7. To G7. And then it's back to the top of the chorus again. Okay? So there you have it. I hope that helped. All right, what are some simple right hand exercises for Steve here? What are some simple right hand exercises or ways of getting better at target practice? Right hand. Okay. Normally that's a left hand question for people having to reach down with their chords. Right hand, I think probably most of the target practice issues come from, and this is funny, I just posted a video about this week, or last couple days. I think we put it up in a blog post. Let me change this shot. Sorry, I forgot my ugly mug wasn't up here. Here's the deal with the right hand stuff. Usually left hand is kind of the issue because you're either reaching down to play a root note and jumping back up to do a chord, or you're stretching more. Right hand melodic lines tend to be somewhat scalar. Is that the right word? Or linear, probably. It's a good word. Now and then you get some melodies, like I'm thinking of something like The Entertainer, ba da 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 ba da, but where you've got these big jumps. But typically there's notes that are somewhat linear, and most of the target practice issues come when you have to move from one hand position. Like I was just talking about Jingle Bells that we were doing, pretty much was all in the one hand position. You didn't have to move it. But if a melody goes past it, you've got to get from here to here to here, or however you're going to do it. And the trick to that becomes effectively it's moving under or over. And so I'm going to talk about that. And again, if you're not on our mailing list, go to our blog at pianoinaflash.blog. Let me see if I can put that up there. Hang on. YouTube, that's not it. Where is that? I promise I won't get to. There it is. I think that's it. Is that going to cut my sound off? No. There we go. Oh, there it is. As a matter of fact, that's the one you're seeing there. That's the new blog post. It's just up there about an agility exercise, so that'll get into what I'm talking about just a little bit. I know this sounded like a loaded question, but I swear we didn't post this one for that reason. So anyway, back to what we're doing. Let me get back to the hand shot. Here's the kind of thing. What it entails, and it's funny, people that have taken classical lessons or taken a decent amount of lessons, you get into playing scales quickly, and one of the first things they do, and that's a good reason to do it, it teaches you how to, for example, and I'm going to show you one thing, but then I'm going to give you an easier version at the beginning. Typically when you're playing scales, say a C scale, you know, there's that, but then you've got to play these last three, right? And then keep going, right? Whatever it is. So there's like, well, how do I, you know, that's kind of the target practice thing. Well, in a typical scale thing, they'll have you play the first three, and then what happens, and I'm intentionally getting fingers out of the way here, not trying to flip you off. You tuck your thumb under, hello, hello, right? So you're doing thumb under, and then by doing that, you know, your hand comes back, and then you do it again if you need to, right? Or you end there. Ah! When you come down, you just do it in reverse. So you're there, and then you need to just bring those two fingers, whoop, 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 right? Switch. Well, let's start one easier, because that's kind of a big jump there. Here's something I think, and it's what I did in that video that will help you, is if you can get used to comfortably just doing your index over your thumb, I think that's a great step one. You know, this might be step 3 or 4. Ah, this is step 1. You know, something, you've got to be able to do that fluidly and very, yeah, I guess fluidly is a good word for it. So, like a decent pattern, I think it's, I can't remember exactly what I taught in that thing we just did, but it was something like, right? You know, just do some pattern with 6 notes in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just do it crossing your thumb over that way. And it'll give you, do it up and down. Then go up 1 note. 1 more note. 1 more note. Then back down. I think that's probably a good start, Steve. And because what'll happen, you're going to be playing these melodies. You know, I'm trying to think of what's a big melody? Something like Misty is a big melody. Like, you know, so it starts out like spelling out this chord. Then it goes, look at that. So that one's all over the board. Actually, that's a pretty good example to use. So again, you know, you got to be thinking through. Now in my mind, I'm not going to reach down with my thumb here, because then then I can't get up to this one. So instead, I'm going to do this crossover, and it's going to give me a little bit closer. And then sometimes you know, you kind of hold it down if you need to and just move. Here's another one of these. Right? Something that, you know, again, I don't want to get into this too deeply, but that's kind of the trick. I think what you need to do, and start with that easy thing I did, or look at that video that's the latest one on the blog. You just need to get a lot more comfortable not being weird about crossing fingers over. And you can start with just a single note. You can move to like where you're practicing scales and going 3 and under. I think arpeggio work, it does a good job too. There's another video here on YouTube and one on the blog about using arpeggios. That's this stuff. Sorry, I won't get into this deeply, but it's, you know, it's moving on like this. An arpeggio is just playing a whole chord with the notes apart. Like, all I'm doing is taking the same chord and moving up 1 note every time. That type of thing. And that's great for target practice. Of course, I would never do it straight like that. I'd try to swing it a little bit just so you're practicing something you're more likely to play in the real world, like. With a few flubs there, right? So maybe arpeggios. Take a look there's another one on there. Scroll through there, or look on the the videos here in the sidebar on YouTube, and you'll find one on arpeggios that'll cover some of that. So, okay, got into that deeper than I wanted. There's my answer on that one, Steve. Can you show Mary Did You Know? I'm drawing a blank. What is Mary Did You Know? Mary Did You Know? Oh, that's the oh, I don't know that I don't have it in front of me. I know what you're talking about. It's the hymn, Mary Did You Know? I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about. Um, oh, I can't. I'm just having a senior moment. I can't come up with a tune in my head. I'll have to put it on the back burner and try to leave that one for a future one. Maybe I'll do it next week. I'll try to find that and do it. Oh, and by the way, speaking of not doing something yet, whoever it was that asked about the salsa and then you asked about it on Facebook, I have not forgotten you. I am absolutely positively, I've got that in the hopper to do a video on it, one of our next uh, videos to post to YouTube here. It's kind of a deep enough thing. I didn't think I could do it on one of these live things, but I promise you I have not forgotten it. So that's that. Anything else popping up? Next. So you can play your own bumper music or your own pause music. This is where you go to a break typically in a TV show. And then they load you up for bear for the next time you come on. There it comes. Question came from trying to form chords, Steve says, in the right hand, especially with inversions. Oh, yeah. Practice so long that I can do it easily, but filling out the melody. I gotcha. I gotcha. So the question was talking about, so you're really, but filling it, so you're needing to play them then. Okay, I think here's this question, I believe. We're talking about when you start playing a little bit more advanced stuff. When you start playing a little bit more advanced things, you tend to, as a piano, well, here, let me switch to the keyboard shot. Very beginning stuff that we do, we're always pretty much playing like a single note melody line, which is absolutely the right way to do it at the beginning, right? Where I'm, I'll do, I was just playing Silent Night, right? Or, right? But then when you start playing more, you say, well, gosh, I've got these other four fingers hanging out. Why don't I start using some of these for some more chords? So then you can play things like, so I'm using some of these fingers to fill in some more chords to make it sound a little more harmonically interesting. But the melody always has to stay on top. So Steve, maybe if that's what you're asking about, the reality is you end up playing, and this sounds really klutzy, but you end up playing 80 or 90% of the melody notes with your pinky, right? Because you're playing chords under every. And boy, that really takes knowing all those inversions and all those arpeggios well that I was just talking about. So if anybody really beginning is watching this, don't spaz out while I do this. But see, but I'm playing. Yeah. Sorry. All right, so I just I'm playing chords underneath them, but I keep doing that. So I don't know. I'm trying to think what's on the fly. What's a good way I can tell you? Probably just, I'll tell you what probably the answer to that is, Steve. Probably the best thing to do is to try to just play hands alone. Just do this in your right hand. Try to just play the chord or play whatever the tune is you're working on. I don't know what exact tune you're working on. Try to get it done where step one would be play the entire melody with your pinky, which is going to sound really awkward. And just do it once or twice so you're straight ahead doing that. And don't do this for a week. I'm talking 10 minutes worth, right? Just do it. And then on every single melody note, or at least every melody note that lands on a chord tone, try to figure a chord to play underneath it. And boy, it's going to be slow, right? You're going to be doing this really slow. So for example, if I was doing that with Silent Night, I'd do like this. So I just know the first chord is a C chord in Silent Night. So I'd be playing. Right? So I'm playing the melody on top and I'm just filling in chord tones down below. Now I have a G7. So I'm filling in tones that are in a G7. Back to C. To an F. You know, so I'm playing the chord, and you don't, I was just doing that so you could hear it. Back to C. You want to play a C7 there, right? You know, that's more advanced stuff for sure, but that's probably the best way I would do that. I would just as slowly as you need to do it, like 10 times slower than what I was just doing, try to just cover every single melody note with a chord underneath it in your right hand. And just the slower you do that, or the more times you get through and do that, I think your target practice, if that's the target practice you were talking about, I think that target practice will only get better when you mentally get to the point where you can just land on these chords, without as much brain explosion, right? You all see those cartoons, like somebody's brain pops out. That's what my vision is when people start doing this. They're like, it's like a robot and steam, smoke's coming out of their ears. So hopefully that helps. So try just playing the melody line always in your pinky with some chord tones down below it. Good, got that. I can play the right, but don't know where the melody and the harmony match up. Do you have a lead sheet, Suzanne? You mean assuming you're talking about for Jingle Bells? And if the answer is, if that's what you're talking about for this one we're just talking about, I do have one, but I'm not going to give it to you. Ah! Sorry, I don't mean to be sarcastic or smart alecky, but I am being smart alecky. No, I don't want you to do this. I very much want this to be a by ear exercise, not a by visual exercise, okay? I'm sure you could, no, without a lot of trouble, get out on the internet and find one, but no, I want you to hear it. I want you to hear this type of thing. I want you to be thinking, just try another one. Oh, like that kind of works. Still works. I mean, just do that. Trust your ears, right? All right, just trust your ears. So no, I not to blow off the question. I kind of intentionally did not do a lead sheet on this for you guys because I want this to be a by ear exercise. Okay, so no, sorry, Suzanne. Shoot me. Well, no, actually, don't shoot me. But hey, it's a free lesson. What can I say? Anything else? Nope, some question. Nope, deep. I got to get into Christmas mode here. I haven't started as of yesterday. Yeah, I think we're about there. Yep. Don't know it. I'll try to look up that Mary Did You Know, or I'll try to get that back in my head. I'm just, like I said, I'm having kind of a brain fart, and I can't come up with that one right now. So I guess that's it. We'll go ahead and wrap this up. So I'm going to try to do the same thing, like I said, at least once a week for the next 3-4 weeks, so that. But here's I'm glad you brought this up, or glad I thought about this. Here's the deal, though. If you guys can possibly do this away from your friends or family or significant others, try to get this whole thing underhand, this whole Jingle Bell thing. I want you to do this on the down low, because I want you to just be able to sit down. You're ready and you're getting together for the holidays, or you're just horsing around and you're at somebody else's house and there's a piano, and I want you just to sit down as smoothly and non-stressful as possible and just sit down and whatever it is. This is going to be hilarious, and you're going to do it. So I want to load you for bear. This is going to be our sneaky, whoa, I didn't know you played piano moment right before Christmas, so it'll be funny. So, all right, I will wrap it up. I guess just a couple final things in case somebody wasn't on this very first live thing we did, and hopefully I can switch this correctly. I think I can. First of all, if you have not subscribed yet to the YouTube channel, please do so. And where you will see that, that red subscribe button somewhere. If you have not subscribed, it'll still be red. Please click that. But here is the almost more important part, that once you click it, You'll see the subscribed look like that. You'll have a check mark next to it, but that little bell, it kind of looks like a helmet or something. It's a little bell icon to the right of it. It will look just like that. Here's what you need it to look like instead. You need it to look like that, like it's ringing. The YouTube folks call that ringing the bell, but you need to click that little thing, and then it'll say, "Great, I will identify you," or it'll then not identify, it'll notify you if um, whenever we're going to go live. So key is not only subscribe to this, but click that little bell so you'll find out when we're going to do another one of these live things. It'll ding you in some way, whether it's an email or I think you get your choice of how you want that to happen. The other thing to do, where I have not done this yet. I keep threatening, but I think I will, particularly as tough as this YouTube stuff technically has been. We very likely will start trying to do some live stuff on Facebook as well, and I'm also going to try to answer some follow-up questions that I get on these things. I will try to answer them on Facebook if need be. The Facebook page is where is the Facebook page? There we go. Hang on. It is at that address. So it's just facebook.com/thepianoguy, singular, the piano guy. All right. So you want to hit that little like button on there. And same type thing. It'll just like it. So whenever we put new stuff up there, it'll show up in your Facebook feed if you're a Facebooker. Okay. And then finally, the last one is to go to pianoinaflash.com. Let me take that off. Sorry. Go to pianoinaflash.com, which is there. It is just at pianoinaflash.com. There's the front page. When you go up in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a little link that says blog. And when you go there, it'll take you to a page like this. And then over in the right-hand column where it says want 2 free gifts, and just stick your email in there and say subscribe. That'll get you on our main, the main mailing list, so that whenever you'll get notified of anything that we're doing, whether, and in particular this season, that's the primary way you're going to find any coupon codes or discounts for all the holiday stuff that we're doing. So if there's anything you're pondering that you want to get, a lot cheaper than normal, give us your email there if you don't already have it. And if you're already on there, you don't need to do it again. It's all fine, and do that. So that's that. So kind of the action list is make sure when you subscribe here on YouTube to click the bell if you would, and then go over to our Facebook page at The Piano Guy and like that page. And finally, just confirm it, just in case you're not on our email list, get on that at pianoinaflash.com/blog. So that, my friends, is it. And I'm glad we finally got on this darn thing. I was so tired of technical problems last week. So that's it. Looks like we've got those solved, though, at least for the meantime. So thanks for this. I will quit rambling. Have a good week. Have a good first holiday week, if you will. I hope you're all not still sleepy and in tryptophan comas like I was all day yesterday. So that's that. I will see you guys next week, and we will post or email when that's going to happen. Have fun. Here's one last video or audio version of it. So here's where we're trying to go. All right. That shouldn't be too big a mountain to climb. Or at least I hope it's not. And we'll move on from there and make it sound better, I promise. See you next time. Have fun. Bye, everybody.